3, 2, 1. Okay, we're about to examine the contents and see if the cocoons are still there, or if there's any bees that have emerged and are possibly dead. So we're going to pour out one of these after we place them horizontally, as we spoke of in the earlier video. We're going to, Gene, over here, we're going to pour out the contents onto this paper. So go ahead.
Okay, Jim, one observation, and this may be related to yesterday when we placed them here, is that all 3 of these tubes were completely cleaned and sanitized prior to putting the cocoons in there, but we have remnants of the bees emerging, and what they do is they poop when they come out. So these 2 tubes have evidence of that, and we did observe yesterday several bees coming out. So I'm going to take this one here because I see no signs of any activity. So let's take a look at this one. Okay.
Yeah. Although, as we do remember, bees came out of all 3. It just looks like they didn't do their thing on that meconium. I forget the technical term. So
let's see what happens here.
That's actually good news.
I lost that. You see that?
There's good news, except for one
gotta be careful.
bee that appears actually to be alive. He's starting to wake up.
Yep, there's some activity there.
Here, let me zoom on this guy who seems to be waking up. So I think this is actually good news. Maybe the 3 or 4 that we saw yesterday were the early emergers, and since they were in our refrigerator for 3 or 4 days, they probably didn't have any food, and they definitely didn't have any water. So that may explain why they didn't survive very long.
Interestingly, now that we have time, some of these cocoons are larger than others, and that may be the differentiation between the male and the female.
Exactly. You can see between this one here, where the bee is, and then the one right above it, there's a small and a big, with the bee right on top of it. So,
wouldn't you figure?
Yeah.
So
they are waking up. It's getting near 50 degrees, 49, so they are waking up, so this is good news. We're going to put them back in. If you want to, I can do this funnel thing if you want to hold the camera.
Yeah, why don't we do that, Jim?
Yeah. We're going to, after we learned how to make makeshift funnels from Kahit yesterday, that was actually a really good thing he did. So what we're doing is we're pouring them in here. The good thing is, even if they fall on the ground, they're still in the enclosure, so.
Yeah, there's, we use the best practices of using these tubes, but,
Oops, there went one. Because I'm getting too anxious.
We'll get them there, Joe.
Let me see, let's do a check. Status check. We got most of them in there. We'll do it
One thing you need with these little guys is patience.
Yeah, and the other thing is that they are kind of sticky. They got some sticky material on them. They're not just little round marble balls. So.
You want to check another tube?
Yeah, let's check another tube real quick. And like I said, one escaped, but that's fine because it's in the enclosure, and eventually they'll wake up. So let me check this one here. And what we'll do is just look inside it. And
you see anything in there dramatic?
No, I don't see anything dramatic. I don't want to play around too much because I want to get done. But there's one coming out.
Okay.
And there's one left in there, but again, in this one there appears to be one, and again, quite possibly a male since it's kind of small. So let's get these guys back home for now. And let them come out on their own time. And this is a safer way to do it.
Jim and I are becoming very astute at what I think is termed as field research. In this case, it's backyard field research in Jim's greenhouse.
Okay, so those are done, and I guess we might as well do the third one, right?
Yeah, well, let's.
Quickly, because I think we're all set up. We fixed the door. We've replenished the supplies as necessary.
The camera is running.
And again, there's one in here, two in here. Oh, 5.
Now so that's the most active
You
one.
want to click, if you do the focus and click on it, it helps you to see the detail.
Okay, like
Yeah,
that, like
yeah.
so.
So let's focus on these. There are 5 here who are actually active. So we'll, and this one here may be a female because it's kind of larger than the others. And then there's another set of 2 right here. So this is interesting.
Yes.
And they appear to be active.
Yep.
So I think it's time to get these guys back home.
Absolutely.
Back, get them in here. Let's
That's very encouraging, Jim.
Yeah, no, we're encouraged. Let's get them in here before they wake up completely, so they can do it naturally.
Well, we've adjusted the environment in here, so it hopefully will make it a little easier for them to get around. We have plenty of nutrients. This is a heck of a lot easier than driving 2 or 3 hours to our other field locations from last year. And now we're going to be acquiring several hundred more cocoons early next week, and so we're going to, I think, set up an outside.
We're going to do the exact same provisioning. The only difference will be no enclosure.
So we'll have an A and B
Yeah.
for the study, and
Okay, so we got all those guys in, including the 5. This guy's already planning on coming out. He's
Good.
headed towards the door.
excellent.
So let's make this way, makes it a lot easier for them to.
Which one was the one you just
Middle.
opened? Middle one. Okay.
Middle one. The middle one had the 5 bees. Each of the outside ones had 1 bee
Okay.
that had emerged.
So the hope here is that they're going to begin to, we'll begin to see them flying around, obviously, and going to the different nutrient sources, but also finding our nesting materials and start doing what they do best, which is propagate. So
Okay.
that's our goal.